Good afternoon. I am Mike Ippolito, the principal at Tampa Bay Technical High School, what I consider to be the best high school in Florida. On behalf of our superintendent, Mr. Jeff Eakins, and our school board, I would like to welcome you to Tampa Bay Technical High School. It's an honor and a privilege to have the governor of Florida visit Tampa Bay Tech. Tampa Bay Tech has been at the forefront of career and technical education dating back to 1969. Last year, our students earned over 627 industry certifications, giving them an advantage in entering the workforce and in post-secondary education. Tampa Bay Tech High School also has the highest graduation of any high school in Florida with 99.1%. But more impressive than that is we've had over a 90% graduation for the last 5 years. I'm proud of the accomplishments of our students and what they've achieved as students here at Tampa Bay Tech. But all of this is made possible through the dedication of our teachers, business partners, district-level administration, the superintendent, and our school board. We're fortunate that here in Florida we have a governor who continues to support career and technical education. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Superintendent of Schools, Jeff Eakins.
Thank you, Principal Ippolito. It is certainly, this is our showcase, technical high school here in Hillsborough County, and it is an amazing place for students to attend, but also it's an amazing place for them to be prepared for their future, and that's really what we're all about. We have some incredible students that our governor, commissioner, and lieutenant governor met earlier today to hear their stories. It is truly, this is a place that's preparing them for life, just like the vision of our board. So we're incredibly grateful. It is my honor also here to welcome not only the governor, but our lieutenant governor, Lieutenant Governor Nunez is here with us today. And also I'd like to invite up to the podium to give us a few words our Commissioner Richard Corcoran.
Thank you. First, it's just amazing to be here. The school is fantastic. The records and accomplishments are outstanding. Having met with the students, you've seen firsthand what this type of an academic program can afford children. Not only are they prepared to be great citizens, have hope for a bright future, but they can immediately get out there and hit the workforce. And then they also have an opportunity to see, wait a second, I can get this far along in my educational environment. Why don't I maybe take the next step and not only just do industry certification, but maybe I'll go to college. One of our students that we talked to is on his path to being an engineer. That's what this opened his eyes to. So it's an amazing thing. I just want to say it's great to serve. Obviously, I've served with Lieutenant Governor Nunez. I've gotten to know Governor DeSantis very well. You're talking about a guy and a lieutenant governor who are going to roll out, without question, the boldest, most aggressive educational program from K to all the way through our universities to prepare our children to conquer the world. I think it's only a short time before Florida's #1 in just about everything under their leadership. And it's very, very exciting that they both here today to see and witness the opportunities that are here. So with that, I want to turn it over to our great Lieutenant Governor. Not only is she a passionate about education, as is the governor, but she's got school-age children, so it's first and foremost on her mind on every single day. But Lieutenant Governor Nunez.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Secretary, for that introduction, and I want to thank our elected officials for being here today. It's such a great day in Florida, and I'm so excited to be here with the governor and to be able to see the wonderful things that are being accomplished here each and every day at Tampa Bay Technical High School. And we were able to listen to the stories, and we got to hear from Jaden and Glenn and Destiny, and we were able to hear about all the wonderful things that they're able to learn here and to apply to real life. And as Secretary mentioned, I have 3 children of my own, and I know firsthand that each child is unique. Each child has different ways of learning. And so this school offers an individualized and very unique opportunity with the right balance of academic rigor, but also workplace relevance. And that's so critical for today's economy. And I know that we're all here together as partners in making sure that each of our children has access to the highest quality education. I know that this governor is fully committed committed to ensuring that. I know that this governor is fully committed to investing in career and technical education because we understand and we hear all too often about the workplace challenges and the shortages. And so our investment here today, our investment in making sure that students have access to this type of education that's going to further and propel them into the future, into our economy, and the very diverse economy that Florida has. We want to make sure that we protect the education of our children, but also offer opportunities to really grow with the different types of sectors that are coming to Florida and that are going to continue to come to Florida under this governor. And so without any further ado, I welcome our governor of the great state of Florida, Ron DeSantis.
Well, thank you. It's really an honor to be here at Tampa Bay Tech. You know, I went to high school and middle school just across the bay in Pinellas. I did not have the ability to do what these kids are doing when I was in high school. I can tell you that. I think one of them, would you already been offered a job and what, you're 16, 17? And so, you know, it's like he's getting skills and people already, you know, seeing these guys as employable. And I think that this institution really has done a good job, I think, from the superintendent, the school board, the principal, of really being nimble and responding to what the workforce needs are of this region. And I think that the more the students see a tangible reason for why they're in school, I think the better that they're going to do. They're just here because they have to, but don't really see light at the end of the tunnel. Look, I remember being that age. It's tougher. So I really like what they're doing here. They're working with the business leaders. They're working with people all throughout the community, and I think the results speak for themselves. And when you have over a 99% graduation rate for a public high school, you know, that is very, very impressive. It's very difficult to do that. And so we're going to be announcing some big reforms. I'll do some today. We're going to do some more. I want to thank Jeanette for helping us out on education. She's been around the block in the House, so she knows a lot and has been very valuable. And then Commissioner Corcoran has been somebody who probably understands these things more than anyone that I've dealt with, just because he's you know, been involved at almost every level, but also he understands how you actually get things done in the legislature. So our program is designed to actually become effective and become law so that folks can start seeing the benefits. And so right now, we're ranked 24th in the nation for people aged 24 to 64 with an associate's degree or higher, or with a high-quality workforce relevant certificate. And so we have too many folks who are not prepared for either college or workforce success, and that hinders their opportunities. It dims their horizons. We have a lot of demand in the economy for jobs in education and health services, trade, transportation, utilities, computing, jobs that require skilled industry certification. So these are available, and I think looking at the needs of the state and then crafting our educational opportunities to reflect that and to fulfill that, I think makes sense. We actually have people coming from other states to fill some of these jobs, and you know, I mean, that's a good problem to have because the economy's going good, but I think that we want those jobs filled by Floridians. And so what we're doing today is I'm issuing an executive order about workforce education, and our goal is we're 24th in the country now. By 2030, we want to be #1 in the country for workforce education here in Florida. So the first thing with the executive order is I'm directing Commissioner Corcoran to assure an audit of our CTE programs, that it's completed, and a methodology to audit and review our offerings is annually developed. We want to be nimble. We want to be responsive to how the economy changes. And we're in an era where there's a lot of rapid change in the economy. So we want to make sure that we're going to be able to respond to that. DOE will also work with and utilize the expertise of stakeholders, such as the Department of Economic Opportunity, the state college system, the Board of Governors, school districts, and businesses and industry leaders to ensure that our CTE course offerings are aligned with market demands. This will ensure our programs are aligned with the labor market needs, and particularly high growth, high demand, and high wage employment opportunities. The department will make recommendations to me annually on programs to eliminate, programs to strengthen, or new programs that can be created to better align with market demands. I've also asked Commissioner Corcoran to include in the department's legislative priorities a goal of securing $10 million from the legislature to seed high-quality workforce apprenticeships and other industry-specific learning opportunities. I've also asked them to prioritize securing another $26 million in funding for workforce programs that are aligned to market needs and housed within the state college system, which we have a state college system that's doing a lot of good things. We're also going to pursue reverse transfer legislation so that we can rapidly increase the number of individuals with an associate's degree for students who begin their higher education at a state college and transfer to university prior to completing the necessary credits for an AA degree, but do not complete the bachelor's degree at the university. We're going to allow the universities to transfer back any credits they earned to the state college so the state college can award the student an associate's degree if they cross the 60-hour threshold with the combined credits. For students who go straight into the university system, we'll have the university proactively offer our students their associate's degree as soon as they complete 60 credit hours. And if you look at the number of students that go to college, I mean, there's a significant number who do not end up achieving that 4-year degree. Well, if they put in coursework, if they've acquired some knowledge and skills to at least give them an AA degree, that can be very beneficial for them as they go out into the workforce. We're also going to pursue legislation for what we're calling the last mile college completion. It's a funding incentive which would provide tuition waivers for online and state college course completion for identified students, former students, who are within 10% of degree completion by credit hours. Sometimes people go, they come close to a degree, different things happen in life, but if we can provide them an easy path to be able to just get over that last hump, earn that degree, that could potentially expand their horizons and provide them with more opportunities in the workforce. Another thing that I've talked about on the campaign trail, mentioned in the inaugural address, is the need to embrace things like computer science. Technology is not going away. It's going to be very important for this economy for the foreseeable future. So we want to pursue legislation to allow computer science to count as a science credit towards high school graduation. We also are going to supercharge our push to get our students learning computer science by asking the legislature for a $10 million appropriation to establish a program for teacher professional development to earn educator certificates or industry certifications in computer science. Legislature required that schools have an offering of this, but you got to put the money behind training the teachers so that the instructors are available. So we're going to do that, and I think our goal is to really be a leader in technology and in computer science here in Florida. I think that you see little places throughout the state. Tampa's one where they're really putting an emphasis on tech development. Miami, you have some exciting things going on there. Well, let's make sure that our students are plugged into that and are learning those skills or have the options to do this. So I think these are really bold, positive reforms. I think they're going to be positively received by the legislature. And our goal, again, by 2030, to go from 24th in the country to #1 in the country when it comes to workforce education. Commissioner Corcoran, Jeanette, and I are going to be working very hard, and we look forward to working with the legislature to be able to bring all these goals to fruition. Wouldn't want to do this announcement any other place, given the success they've had here, and hopefully schools like this can be a model for what other communities can be doing throughout the state of Florida. And with that, I'm happy to take a couple questions. So we are next week going to be doing kind of our teacher initiative, both for teacher pay, for I think the bureaucracy that could be associated with it, and to try to get good people to choose teaching, particularly in underserved areas. And so we're going to address the issues with teachers next week. Commissioner Cork and I have been working on a number of things, and our goal is to make sure that these programs are working well, to have good teachers, and then to keep teachers in the classroom, and that's what we're going to be focusing on.
Are you concerned that this one test, that too much emphasis is being placed on a certification exam, which recently revised and now causing
Well, I think that these tests have a role, but there are a lot of talented people who've not been certified who could teach different subjects, and so I think there needs to be a the means used needs to be focusing on the ends that we want to see, and sometimes people can get caught up in the test just for test's sake, and so I'm cognizant of that. Yes, ma'am.
So from the Tampa Bay Times, there is, of course, a teacher shortage nationwide in Florida, and the school district that I cover has more than 300 advertised teaching vacancies. We were told just a little while ago that without a significant increase to the base student allocation, the funding that is unencumbered, it's not looking like the teachers will get the raise that they would need in order for the district to be competitive. What can you say at this point about money that possibly can be used to increase teacher salaries?
Well, we'll see. So one of the things that I promised to do is during the campaign is to have a higher percentage of money go right into the classroom, which would obviously be teacher salaries would be a good example of that. So Richard and I are working on getting us to that 80% threshold. That does have more money in the base student allocation. We'll have it increase in our budget when that comes out. And then we're also looking for ways to better compensate teachers. So we're going to have a rewrite of some of the programs that have existed, like the Best and Brightest, to try to target it more on teachers that are doing good rather than some of the other things that had been in the pot. So that's going to be an issue, and then we're also going to roll out a program to if somebody chooses to go into teaching, we want to be able to provide financial incentives to relieve some of the burdens associated with education, any loans or things like that. If they're willing to go in some of these underserved areas, then that's something that would probably be a good investment. So we're going to be dealing with a lot of this next week. I think it'll be a lot of positive reforms, and we look forward to doing it. And of course, at the state, we can provide money, and it ultimately is up to the school districts in terms of the salaries that they think are appropriate.
We have time for one more question. Governor, the processing delays, are you surprised to hear about this backlog of applications costing tens of thousands?
No, I mean, nothing surprises me when it comes to government bureaucracy. So, I mean, I can tell you this, Richard, as the commissioner, he is going to do a lot to make the trains run on time. I think he's no nonsense. I think he wants this to be responsive, and I've told him, hey, do what you need to do to whip the place into shape. And so if that's one of the things that he tackles, he'll have my support to do so. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.